Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kyusho here, and now. In the last part, a number of things have happened. Now, the Spider-Verse was put back into peril, and the Inheritors, they have returned and are on Earth 616. Now, whenever they were on that Earth, a number of things happened. The Web Warriors came to confront Otto Octavius Spider's clones, because the Inheritors were masking their signal and using the clone bodies to try and jump back into another universe. Now, the Inheritors, they returned. They killed Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Man UK, and other members of the Web Warriors, and they were able to get away. They were able to go back to Earth 001 Loom World, and begin the process of reviving their father. Now, while that was all happening, a number of things happened for the Warriors. Now, they are only one team of Spider-Man. Right now, however, they are in peril. And Deku, yeah. Sadly, he lost his life. The injuries he suffered from Morlun, they have finally taken their toll, pushed his body to the absolute limit. And while he tried, his body just couldn't handle it, deal with it. Morlun got what he wanted. He won. And Spider-Man died right there in a hospital bed on Earth 13. However, his body began to crack. Now, with that being said, right now a number of events have been happening. While the Web Warriors have been doing this, there actually is Otto Octavius, the superior Spider-Man. He has been gathering a team of his own, and has been trying to do what he can to make things right. He didn't like having to work with the Izuku Midoriya of his past, supposedly, and he was trying to work on something. However, he is unaware that there may have been a shift in his timeline, and that could be catastrophic. The superior octopus of Deku's current day, not his future, he got a hold of one of the teleporting watches, and he teleported to an unknown world, where things may not go well for him. Now, with that being said, there actually was Spider Toga, who she stayed behind to try and deal with the Inheritors, and make sure they don't escape Earth 616. However, sadly, they escaped. And Toga, it wasn't known whether or not she survived the building's explosion. Now, with that all being said and tied together in a neat little bow, let's pick up with Cindy Moon on Earth 13. Now, Cindy is trying to go through a number of things. She has been trying to talk to Karn, understand what to do. She's scared and worried. She's wondering whether or not she should get involved. And Karn is trying to reveal to her a few things. He has been trying to make things quite apparent, and make sure she does understand. Right now, they have a plan, and that plan is quite simple. They are going to try to go back to Loomworld and prevent the Inheritors from getting involved, from rebuilding the device and bringing back Morlun. Or not Morlun, bringing back Solus. Now, the Web Warriors, yeah, they might be in a bit of trouble, because there are currently two teams with the same objective and goals. However, one is trying to go for a peaceful solution. Kill the Inheritors, they'll just pop back up somewhere else, somehow. Something will pop up to replace them. And the other idea, somehow take them down in a peaceful resolution. It's a coin flip. No one knows what to do. Both teams have similar goals and objectives, just different means to achieve them. And that has put somewhat of a strain on the entire Spider-Verse, or as I can just call them, all of the Spider families. Now, that does say quite a bit. And right now, they're actually Cindy, who doesn't sit there. Her Spider Sense going off, and right now she's going to have it flash in her head. As she just won't sit there and her blood runs cold. And they're actually just going to jump up and turn, her bolting away. And Karn, the moment he saw Cindy do that, he actually just won't turn. Him trying to figure out exactly what is going on. and Cindy right now is running, her bolting through the halls and trying to find it. What did she see? What exactly was that flash? Why did her spider sense react to Izuku? Why does she know it's him? And the currently is she's going to bolt directly into the room. As right now Deku's body, it does sit there, torn open, and his vitals aren't there. All she hears is that sound, the long, drawn-out beep. And right now Cindy falls to her knees. Izuku's dead, and something happened to his body. Now, while that's all happening, we do actually cut back over to Karn. Karn, he is trying to do what he can. Try and keep things on track. Try to help. He is trying to change fate. And fate, it comes after everybody. It comes after you. It comes after me. It comes after people who don't wish it to be. People always try to defy it. And yet fate is cruel. As an inheritor does to step out and inform their brother about how far he's fallen, because he's become another totem, another meal, their next meal. Now, Karn is going to move in, and right now while that's happening, there actually is Cindy. Cindy wanted to know what happened here. She wanted to know what was going on, and she tried to radio into anybody, and no one was able to answer the call. Right now a few things are happening, and we do currently cut to Otto Octavius, who, him and some of his forces are right now on Loomworld, and they are trying to make sure this place can be brought down. The inheritors don't know that they're here yet. They don't have things back up and running at 100%, and they need to take advantage of this opportunity. As right now the superior Spider-Man does a turn and expresses somebody who was thought to be long dead, that they need to make sure they understand all of it. They need to make sure things can go properly. Does he understand Ben? Now, right now there actually is Ben, who does try and tell Otto that he might be grateful for the opportunity. But then again, the fact that he tried to control them, make them some puppets of his, they don't really like. He's got to know. After this is all said and done, they're done. They want to go home. They don't care for his games anymore. And this is the final straw. Now, Ben does inform Otto about a few things that may happen after all of this. And Otto does get someone smile. And the inheritors do start to do a few things. As right now we do actually cut over to Izuku, who, right now, he's retreated into a cocoon. A place where he can hide. A place where he can nest. A place where he can be safe and properly connect with his inner self. Or should I be saying his animal instincts. Now, currently Deku, he does actually look around. He's confused. And he's surprised. He feels a sense of peace, a calm. But then there's actually a sound. He hears it. And it's almost as if the hairs on the back of his neck, they react to it. They know what it is, but he doesn't. A sense of familiarity, a sense of power, a sense of himself. And Deku does look up. Him staring at a giant spider. As right now, it is a scream out at Deku. And Deku, he is going to react. Him trying to rush in to fight it. However, the spider, it does make things quite apparent. Massive in size. And it goes to speak to Deku. It tries to inform him as to what exactly he's been doing. What he's been doing wrong. How Spider-Man truly is. And Deku's quite alarmed. This thing reveals to him what exactly it is. The spider is going to web Deku up. And Deku, he currently is sent smashing into a wall and trying to break free. However, the spider is going to move forwards, informing him. He was chosen to be the Spider-Man of 616. And Deku is going to look up. him alarmed. Giant talking spiders. Not again. You have done much, Izuku Midoriya, but you have become disconnected, estranged from yourself. Who are you? I am the spider, the one who chose you. Chose me? Yes. You seem to be ignorant to much. The Ezekiel of your universe never told you a thing. He wished to show you much. I look through him to see you. But then again, not much happened. You need to understand. You and him. You could have been good together. A team. But he thought the ignorance he gave you, it would be better. He thought much can happen. You have not met her yet, but you will. You will know her name. You must meet Madam Web. Who? What are you talking about? It's quite simple, Izuku. Things are going to change. Be quite apparent. Very soon the web will be sick, and the next generation, they will try what they can, help it, and it will be created anew. You do not know what will happen. I do. I can see it. I may be afraid, but I embrace the change. I may be different, but you must also embrace the spider. Now, Deku could actually have this thing rush at him. And right now there actually is the cocoon, the one in the real world, right now dangling in an alleyway. And it does won't react. Now, we do actually cut over to the Superior Spider-Man. Right now the Inheritors, they have come to attack. And Solus has been brought back to the land of the living. And a few people, they have put certain plans into place. As right now they're actually Spider Osborn. He does have one simple plan. One thing he wants to do. Loomworld is the world with the Inheritors. And the moment this place does get a blow, this will destroy everything. And right now, one of his other allies, they are ready and in position. As Osborn, he goes to do one thing. He overloads his teleporter and his multiversal transporting device, and a massive portal starts to open in the battlefield. As everyone, they're caught off guard, beginning to fall. And right now, Spider-Men and Spider Warriors, they all fall in a 616, along with the Inheritors. As Osborn, he has a turn, and inform his ally as to what to do. Now, there is currently Spider-Man, who does go to affect the web of life and destiny. And, as that is going to happen, the bridge between the multiverse, the one that connects the worlds, the very web that weaves itself through the multiverse, it recoils. It begins to die. And that does mean a number of things. And right now the Spider-Men are all trapped in one location. And Cindy was left none the wiser, as she ran back into the room and found Karn, the new weaver of the web, dead. And that does put her in a state of shock. Now, right now Osborn, he has a few plans he does want to put into place. He has a piece of the web, and he hopes that one day they'll turn out fine. However, he does want to know exactly what will happen next. And there currently is Deku, who is a break free from his, well, let's just call it cocoon. His metamorphosis, it may end a little early, but then again, he's been given another chance. And right now, the god of the web, the spider god itself, it gives Deku certain powers. It allows him to weave. And right now, Spider-Man, he's gonna dive into the multiverse. Him heading out. Now, we do currently cut back to Earth 616, where right now the Inheritors, they've continued their battle, and they want to know what to do. However, while that is going on, there actually is another Spider-Man. He has done a few things. They have been trying to study Earth 13 and figure a few things out. The device they have made will help them. It will give them what they need. And right now there actually is Deku, who does come flying down and smashing into the battlefield. And everyone they do to see him. Some people turning and seeing that Deku, he goes rushing in at the Inheritors. His body glowing as Deku, he goes looking for Morlan. Him smashing a spike into his body. And picking him up into the air. For Deku's a turn. Him gonna throw Morlan down and go to get ready. Him going to rush in. And right now Deku, he does it to keep focus. Right now his body is not his own. And he's been chosen. And many people, they go to watch Spider-Man. And they're actually Solus. Solus is going to see the spider. See the one he's known for eons. Will one day appear. And he wants to speak to it directly. The one who controls the web. The very god itself. He plans to kill. Now, there actually is currently the Superior Spider-Man, who he has to start overhearing a plan that's quite simple. They want to do one simple thing, and a button is pushed, as deep in the cosmos, something reacts. It is being summoned, and it is not a being you summon. It is a being that chooses who calls it, who it will call for aid in times of great need. However, it is curious as to what this is. No one has attempted this before. And right now the Enigma Force flies its way towards Earth. Now, we do currently cut back to the battle, where Deku, he is rushing at the Inheritors, and he is throwing around more power than they are used to. He has definitely changed, and Morlan, he is quite annoyed. Deku is alive and well, and that should not be the case. However, he does continue his battle, him shooting out his webs and going to react, where Morlan does actually bring his hand up, he goes to try and slice the web. However, Deku, he shot another web to get Morlan's leg, him going to pull him towards him. And Morlan, whenever his leg buckled, he tried to throw out his other leg to try and stop himself. However, Deku, whenever he did go to bring up his hand, he just blasts out another web, him grabbing Morlan by both of his legs and actually go to try and throw the lassos down, or basically try and use them like a rope. I'm trying to remember the name of the thing. Anyways, Deku, he does actually throw his arms up, throwing them down again. After now, Morlan, he actually saw go up in the air for a second. And when he does actually land on his feet, Deku does to pull him. Morlan actually being pulled down onto the ground. After another action, Deku does to bring his hands down, smashing them down into Morlan. And Morlan, he actually is alarmed. Deku does actually rip his arms upwards through the top of his shoulders. And everyone, they start to watch. And they're actually Solus. Right now, he's alarmed. However, somebody, they do stand there, expressing to Solus. What? Not used to seeing another Spider-Man with spikes? Him rushing forwards, and now stabbing Solus Jockey up into the back. As right now, there actually is Kane, who has actually thrown himself backwards and land. And Solus is going to turn, staring at him with his eyes wide. The other has returned. And that does quite piss him off. Deku does come rushing in, and Solus, he is going to get on the offensive. Right now, I'm going to spin and turn, attempting to try and attack Deku. And right now, Deku is going to rush Rookie in. Him going to dodge out of the way of his arm, rushing and stabbing upwards, Rookie into the ribs with his spike. And then going to throw out his other hand. Solus going to dodge the attack, Rookie at his head, as Kane does come in, him smashing him in the back of the leg with a spike. And Solus is going to go down. Deku going to pull out his spike and a lunge forwards. Him about to do a kill shot, directly into the man's head. As Solus is going to grab up his hand and swing to get Deku, grabbing him upwards by the neck, pulling him up into the air and smashing him down into the ground. As Kane is going to rush forwards and grab Solus, smashing into his back and going to actually put the spikes directly around his head and put him into a headbutt. Now, Kane is going to hold on to Solus, and Ben is going to see that. Him going to bring up his hands and blast Solus directly into the head as he has to dodge the way of Moreland. Him going to actually make a comment about how all of them really need to be careful now, don't they? I mean, one wrong move and they all die, right? That being on his mind. And right now there actually is the Enigma Force, which it does get to do one simple thing. It goes to land down onto Earth onto the battlefield. And right now, everyone, they do go to somewhat try and look at that. However, they're also trying to at least make sure they can survive. The Spider-Men are beginning to push back and make a difference. And that does say quite a bit. Now, there currently is Silk. Silk, she tried to do what she could with her teleporter. Tried to do what she could on her world. But not much can really be said. However, there was a few ideas. And Karn, it is sad to say, but she will have to make what she can of this. Now, she did a few things simple. She began to try and harness what the Weaver could, and use that to jump through the dimension. The Weaver is an aspect of the web, and right now, Silk, she does come rushing to the battlefield. Her, right now with an army of other Spider-Men. And everyone, they need to get ready. People from different realities, all of them. And right now, someone is going to smash Rookie down, them on the battlefield. Before, they're going to rush Rookie in. Now, with that being said, Silk doesn't see Deku. Him alive and her shocked. Right now the way he is. His body glows with strange power. And he has spikes from his arm. As Deku is going to come in, him right now going to rush at Solus and throw himself up on him. Him biting down into his neck and trying to inject him with paralysis. Now, right now Solus, he's going to bring his hands up, grabbing on a Deku as Kane has come in. Him slash directly at the veins in his arm and trying to cut the muscle tendons. As right now whenever Solus is going to have his arm cut, Kane is actually web it to the ground. And Solus is going to use his other hand, swinging directly out at Kane. And Kane is just going to block it and grab it. Him going to actually shoot the bone knife or talon out of his wrist and upwards into Solus's arm. And right now Kane does have the advantage. As Deku, he actually gets some assistance. As right now there actually is Miles Morales. Whenever the Cosmic Force came in, it did not feel like they were worthy, but Miles made a few things quite apparent. This is a matter of the multiverse. He is the power of the universe. If he is going to stand by and watch the multiverse be destroyed, then what right does he to call himself a god? Now, the power was quite annoyed. It did not like mortals interfering with it. However, what Miles does say does ring true. He can feel the web of life and destiny. He feels it being greatly reduced, greatly weakened. And that is a matter of great urgency. As Miles Morales became Captain Universe and rushed into the battle to help, him blasting into Solus, as Solus right now, he does take a massive amount of energy to the back. And Deku, he still is there. As right now whenever Solus is going to hit the ground, Deku, he actually is pulled out from underneath him. As right now Deku does a turn and sees Cindy, her holding on to him and asking what's going on. As Deku, he's going to rush forwards and looking in front of her. Him actually going to stab Deku into an inheritor, who tried to attack her. Him rushing forwards and smashing them down to the ground. Him beginning to start jumping onto them with his spikes over and over and over. And right now the Spider God, it is done. It gives back control to Deku. Proper control. And Deku doesn't feel his power fade. The energy disbanding. As Deku, he has to turn and look around. He's made more aware of it. He can feel it. The web. He understands now. Being the spider. Understanding it more. And Deku is going to turn. Him right now with the fangs on his face. And right now some people do to see him. As the inheritors, they're being overwhelmed by the reinforcements. And with their father Solus taken down, and Captain Universe here, it does say quite a bit. And right now, the Spider-Men, the Web Warriors, they're able to take down the inheritors. And a plan is being discussed. They have all of them down and out for the count. However, they cannot be sure this will be permanent. Miles may try to look into the future. He may try to do something. But a few things need to happen here. A few things need to be done. The inheritors are the biggest threat to all of them, in every single reality. So, what can they do? And there actually was Miles, who he already knew what they were going to, because he looks over to somebody right now, and they do just don't step forwards. As superior, he discusses it. He has an idea. They may not all agree on killing, they all may be divided. However, they can agree on one thing. The inheritors, they will jump to different bodies again. So, how about this time they make sure the inheritors they can't and they don't know how. As everyone, they start to understand what's going to happen. And the inheritors, they're taken away. Their minds are wiped and they are placed in the bodies of humans. And this time, they will not know their past. They will not know their evils. They will not know what they were. And someone right now is going to walk through the crowd. And Deku does still won't stand there. After everything that happened, the weird dream he had, the weird rebirth apparently, yeah, things have been crazy. He's just happy it's all kind of over. As right now someone is going to walk up to him, them bringing their hand out and onto his shoulder. As Deku is going to turn and see... Mom? Hi. It's good to see you awake. I... how is this possible? Multiverse, remember? I'm so proud to see you like this. Thanks, Mom. What happened to me in your universe? You're still around. That's good. I'm glad. I'm very glad. However, if I'm going to be taking care of the inheritors, I'm going to turn and express to everybody. She will make sure to take care of them on her Earth. Hopefully, in the future one day, there will be allies on her Earth, and things can return to normal for all of them. However, she is worried about the web. She does want a few things to happen. And right now someone is going to step up. As Spider Zero, just to talk about it. They will help to create a new web. They will make sure it can stay intact. They don't have a home reality. It was destroyed. And hopefully things can be better. And right now a few people do just don't step up, expressing about how they can help as well. And a new reality, or a new web, is going to be created. And that will help. The new web of life and destiny. A new fate being weaved for all of them. A way to change their course? It's very strange. A new destiny. A new life for everyone. A brand new future. And that is something that Deku, he does like. As right now there actually is back in New York City, on his Earth. He does stand there in his apartment, and a few people, they do sit there. You have Hisashi Midoriya, you have Inka Midoriya, you have Ben, you have Kane, you have Julia. And right now Deku doesn't going to sit there, as he's talking about a few things. Right now they will have a family dinner. They will have a spider dinner. They will all talk. And Deku does have one thing go through his mind. As right now he does a stand and announce to everybody about what's going to be happening. And he does do one thing. He turns to Cindy and proposes, asking for her to marry him. And Cindy, she smiles. As everyone, they raise their glasses to the newlyweds. And they wish them for a proper life. A proper future together. And that is quite a bit. And there actually is where some people just start to clean up. And Deku does someone walk directly over to the balcony. Him walking outside and going to look. it does mean quite a bit. He's going to be a father. He's gonna be a parent. Now he has to tell his mother, his real mother. But how does he tell her that he's the superhero? How does he tell her that everything she thinks going on in his life is a misunderstanding? He's not just messing around, fooling around, being a reckless adult. He has responsibilities, things to do, proper things that give him these. It just, it's hard to understand. And Deku isn't going to narrow his eyes. It's bright, even this dark at night. The city is still lively. The lights are on. And he goes to stare on, as someone is going to walk up to him, bringing a hand onto his shoulder. And Deku does a turn to Kane, as the man does try to inform him about a few things that have been happening, and about how at least things turned out for both of them. And right now Kane does express, whenever the Superior Spider-Man sent them on that mission, he reassured them, let them know things would be okay. They were on that man's version of Earth, and he'll tell him quite simply, whatever happened in his past, it branched off from their reality. He knows for a fact things are different. He knows for a fact that whatever happened in his reality won't happen here. They won't allow it. He took over Deku's life. He found a way to become him. And he used the same method on them. They had chips implanted in their heads. The moment they both died, the moment he killed Solus, he woke up. The moment he went into the abyss, the void, he was pulled back through to his Earth. Him and Ben, the two, they did die. They lost their bodies. Him as a spider and Kane from the explosion. Ben from the explosion and Kane from the spider. And that does say quite a bit. And he does want Deku to understand. Otto, on this Earth, he must be taken care of. If he does attempt to make any more spider clones, it could be disastrous. He'll take care of him. And Deku should at least tell him. He's not too sure if that's needed. Doc Ock isn't here anymore. Whatever happened in the multiverse, he's stuck somewhere. He doesn't know. All he knows is that Gwen told him that he took a watch and jumped to a different reality. They were able to find her, yes. But him, he's lost somewhere in the multiverse. He's somewhere out there jumping through worlds, trying to find home. And he's not even too sure Doc knows that. He's not even too sure Doc knows where home is. And Kane, he does this express. It's not a great loss. Doc Ock, he's out there, but he's alive. And that means he's out of their hair. Possibly forever. But I get to tell Kane, he's not sure. He's not really too sure at all. The man might return, but there are bigger threats out there. And Deku currently does have a lot to go through his head. As for Deku, he was going to knock on a door the next day. He's going to walk in. His mother, quite happy to see Deku and Cindy. She heard about how things fell apart with Julia. How things didn't turn out too well. How things fell apart with his other girl, Jessica. I mean, she knows that Deku and her, they were friends, but she always suspected something happened with that. And right now Deku, he does try to tell his mother about what currently is happening. How him and Cindy, they plan to get married. And about how Cindy is pregnant. Now, Enko is quite happy. She jumps up alarmed but excited. And Deku, he does get to think. Going to tell her the other big secret. And Enko, at first she doesn't believe it. She thinks that it's a joke. But then Deku, he reveals it to her, jumping onto the ceiling and sticking to it. And with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And yes, Spider-Geddon did come to a close a little bit fast and a little bit more compacted down. But the fact is, the third Spider-Verse event, Deku, or the Peter Parker in that event, since I can finally say it properly, he was not involved. So, the final Spider-Verse event I may not be covering. However, I do plan to cover another event very, very soon. And so far, I do hope you guys enjoyed how this went and how this goes. And yes, Deku had a bit of a rebirth, and maybe his powers might just be getting a little bit of an upgrade. Now, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and I do hope I cover this event as best as I could. But anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed.